Let's see who wins today's fisticuffs. Round one, fight!
My favorite saying is keep it simple, stupid.
Thoughts on the training advice and the endless different exercise variations put out by Ryan Humiston. Ryan Humistown. So do I think that his style of training is ideal if your goal is to maximize muscle growth as a natural lifter? Now, just to preface, this is not meant as some sort of a call-out video or intended as any sort of personal attack. This is just my honest critique of Ryan's training methodology, with the goal being to help you get the very best results possible. Ryan does have a pretty large audience, and his advice ultimately reaches millions of people, and so I think that this is a relevant subject to address, and many of my subscribers have asked for my thoughts on his content as well. So if you're not familiar with Ryan, he's a bodybuilding YouTuber. The vast majority of his channel, probably like 9 out of 10 videos, is basically him in the gym training a certain muscle group and demonstrating a bunch of what you could call unorthodox exercise variations that he says will produce better results than just using the basic conventional lift. I went through nearly every single one of his videos to make this video to make sure that I had a really clear idea of what he's all about.
Whoa, you went through like all his videos. Damn. This guy came prepared for the fisticuffs.
And I just played them on double speed, and he very, very rarely shows himself performing conventional exercises using what would be the regularly accepted form. Most of the time it's him putting his body in all these different awkward positions and using a modified angle and a shortened range of motion in order to get a better contraction in the target muscle. And that's kind of like his whole thing. It's all about the mind-muscle connection and maximizing the contraction. And if you're looking for a good drinking game with your buddies, put on a Ryan Humiston video and then take a shot every time he says the word contraction.
Now this one's all about the contraction. Now as you start to contract, see if you can peek out the contraction that way. And I got a better contraction overall. For the most intense part of the contraction, you get that contraction or finish the contraction off. As you're contracting up and then start the contraction up, I can pretty much guarantee you have a better contraction. What's the best way to contract that lower part of your chest and really peek out the contraction and getting more out of the contraction? And the best ways to do that are by slowing down the contraction.
Can I get a contraction? Contraction! Woo! Contraction!
And make sure you're leading the contraction with your elbow. That way you can really focus on the contraction and contract that lower pec even more.
There's no question that this style of content is very, very...
Can I get a contraction? Chest contraction. Woo, look at that chest contraction. Contraction.
Very effective. People love this stuff, especially beginners. People love seeing someone with an impressive physique in the gym demonstrating fancy exercises that they've never seen anywhere else. It goes against the grain, it stands out from the norm, and it makes every video feel like you're uncovering all these special little game-changing hacks that are going to speed up your results. Generally speaking, the more unique and the more never before seen the exercise variations and workouts that someone posts are, the better it will perform in terms of clicks and views and attention. But what
this is unfortunately so true. Yeah, if you do weird stuff, strange stuff, you'll get the clicks, you'll get the views. More spews for more views. That's the saying. It is what it is.
That's the main issue here, in my opinion. The issue is that something being innovative and unique might seem engaging and seem great on the surface, especially when it's being done by someone who really looks the part, who speaks confidently, who has good video production value. And I'm not saying that you should never experiment with unconventional lifts, and I'm not saying that Ryan doesn't put out certain exercise variations or tips that could be of use to you. However, it's very important to keep in mind that something being unique and against the grain does not necessarily mean that it's more effective.
This is so true. Round one, Nalawani wins round one. Let's continue.
The goal here is bottom line results. And generally speaking, I would say that basing the bulk of your training approach around the overall style that Ryan recommends is not what's going to actually produce the best results in the real world, assuming you are a natural trainee, particularly if you are a novice. And that's exactly what the vast majority of people watching YouTube fitness content are. They are beginner to intermediate natural lifters, which is...
Again, this is so true. Most people are not jacked. Most of the ladies are not slim. They come to YouTube, health and fitness, looking to transform themselves, whether it's to get muscles. They're a dude typically, slim down if they're a lady, or get toned. They usually don't have that physique already. And they're newbies. Doesn't matter how smart they are, how well educated they are, they don't know a lot. And some of the things they do know are incorrect. And they don't even know what they don't know. vicious combination.
Not the camp that Ryan is in, okay? He's coming from a much different position than the vast majority of his viewers, and it does seem that most of his advice is based on his own personal experience and taking what works for him and then prescribing that to the lifting population at large. If you are a natural novice lifter, you don't need to be performing this super long list of special modified exercise variations. You shouldn't be constantly mixing your workouts up every week. You probably won't get maximum hypertrophy on a high volume, single body part focused bro split.
This is so true. Most people with normal genetics cannot do what this guy is doing. You will not grow. As a matter of fact, it's unlikely that he did what he's currently doing to look this way. It's like the hot Zumba instructor. He or she did not do Zumba to get that hot body. They did not. Believe me, they did not. Shout out to Zumba. I know you guys love your Zumba.
You don't need to be obsessing over the mind-muscle connection, especially during big compound exercises, and your training should not be predominantly based around lightweight high-rep sets using a shortened range of motion. And
again, this is so true. The science is pretty clear. You need full range of motion to develop muscle. Full range of motion for me to do this curl, to do a tricep extension, chest. Full range of motion, not some playing with the weights here, not that. That's more advanced, let's say.
These are all of the things that Ryan Humiston essentially promotes. Things that work very well for advanced lifters who are also using extra supplements in their program and who have good genetics.
Extra supplements, wink, wink. I know what he's talking about. Extra supplements. Starts with a P, ends with a D, maybe the middle letters an E? What does that spell? P-E-L?
But that are not going to be ideal for the majority of the demographic who are actually watching these videos, which
agreed. Round 2, Nalawani wins. Round 3, fight!
Again, is the average novice natural trainee trying to add overall mass to their frame as efficiently as possible. Now, keep in mind that any style of training will add muscle to your frame as long as you lift with sufficient intensity, volume, and frequency, and you progressively overload your muscles in some fashion on your exercise.
This is the other issue. When people do these things, you'll always have the exception to the rule. You'll have one or two guys, a lady doing things like this and get great results. But these are the anomalies, and they tend to have fantastic genetics, or they're taking those special supplements. Essentially, anything they do will get great results, especially if they're new to the gym. Newbie gains, except they're getting super duper newbie gains. Super duper
exercises. So I'm not saying that his style of training doesn't work or that you can't incorporate certain aspects of it into your program. There are probably plenty of people out there who are getting good results by following his content. So I'm not saying that it doesn't work or that it can't be utilized to some extent. But what I am saying is that if you're using this type of approach as the cornerstone of your training program, as the bulk of what you're doing in the gym, then you probably aren't going to achieve the most efficient long-term results, especially once someone is past the very, very beginning stages where they'll basically grow no matter what they do. You know, if you're a complete newbie and it's just your first few weeks in the gym, then you could probably do bicep curls using your dick as resistance. And
do you guys catch what he just said? He's pretty slick using their bleep as what? Man, that's a vicious blow right there. Damn. Round 4, Nalawani wins. Round 4, fight!
Still build some muscle that way. So first off, when it comes to exercise selection, you really don't need anything fancy in order to achieve outstanding results. Now, there's of course nothing wrong with experimenting and tweaking your lifts a little bit to find what feels best for your individual body structure. I actually encourage you to do that, but all in all, there's just no need to deviate away from the basic proven compound exercises performed with standard conventional form. We already know that these lifts work extremely well, they're safe, and they can take you right up close to your genetic potential on their own, just as they've been doing for millions of lifters for decades and decades.
This again is very true. The basic lifts, a curl, a bench press, a squat, a deadlift. These are the basic exercises. If you do these, you'll get great results, especially if you're a newbie or you've only been lifting for a couple of years. You'll get great results. You just need to consistently do these things. Experimentation, doing super complicated things when you don't know what you're doing, A, it's unlikely to work. B, you're more likely to hurt yourself. You know what happens when you hurt yourself? You can't work out. There goes those gains. You got to be making those gains in the gym. You want to be making those gains? You want making those gains? You got to be consistent, man. If you're not consistent, there won't be no gains. And when you're injured, you'll lose those gains. You want those gains, right? I know you want those gains. You ladies want those glutes. Yeah, you want those glutes. You guys, you want those biceps, chest. I know.
Okay, basic squat variations, deadlifts, barbell or dumbbell chest presses, weighted pull-ups, dips, overhead presses, basic rowing movements. We really don't need to reinvent the wheel here when it comes to exercise selection. Learn the proper form and the proper technique on the basic compound lifts, train hard and progressively overload them over time, and you're gonna make all kinds of gains.
I'm making all kinds of gains. All kinds.
You don't need 15 different exercises.
Damn, he read my mind. Sean must have read my mind. I'm not sure how he did this since he made this video a long ass time ago. Maybe he jumped in the Wayback Machine.
Exercise variations for one muscle group, putting your body in all these awkward positions, trying to hit every muscle fiber from every conceivable angle.
Some of those exercises look downright crazy. Did you see those angles? Man, rotator cuff injury waiting to happen on your shoulder, man. You pop that shoulder, oh, man, you've been a world of hurt. Pop that back snaps, you've been a world of hurt.
Makes for entertaining content, but it's really just not necessary in the real world. If you've already got the basics down and you just want to play around with some of these less conventional exercises on the side to see if you discover something that really seems to work well for you, then that's totally fine. But the core of your training should be rooted in basic compound lifts first and foremost. And if I had to bet money on it, I would be very confident that Ryan did not build the majority of his physique doing all of these fancy lifts that he shows in his videos. I would bet you anything that just like most big muscular dudes out there, he built the majority of his physique using basic progressive overload on the compound lifts and then changed his training style later on after the majority of his muscle was already built. In fact, if you go back to his older videos, he actually encourages keeping things simple, and he says outright that the tiny little details don't really matter.
Stop overthinking it. When you start tweaking everything and like, oh, is my rep range right? Is my speed right? Am I going too fast? Am I explosive enough? That little stuff doesn't matter. Just be consistent. Don't overthink it. It's really that simple. Don't get stuck in the minute details, because at the end of the day, they don't matter.
What I think probably happened is that he started putting out all these unique, unconventional lifts.
This is so true. I see this all the time with trainers. They have their clients doing all kind of crazy fancy things, battle ropes, jumping up down on boxes and whatever. I've always told friends, associates, ask the trainer, did the trainer do these things to create this fantastic body? The answer is almost no. Look in the gym where the hottest bodies are, male or female. They'll almost always be in the weightlifting section. Ask the trainer why those people aren't doing these exercises. Why aren't they doing these crazy exotic exercises? Why are they over there doing the basic stuff? Why are the dudes lifting heavy weights, benching, curling? Why are the ladies doing glute bridges or lunges, squats? Why? You gotta ask them that. That's why I agree with him. Almost guaranteed that guy did not use those methods to build his impressive physique. He did the basic stuff.
His views and subscribers started taking off as a result of it because, again, people really love this style of content, and so he just kind of made that his niche and ran with it. And now that's what people expect from him, and so he just has to keep coming up with more and more of these unique exercise variations in order to keep things moving. For example, at this point, he has roughly 50 different bicep curling variations shown on his channel. 3 bicep exercises you need to start doing, 4 bicep exercises you need to do, 3 bicep exercises you need for growth, how to get bigger biceps faster, how to grow wider, thicker biceps, why your biceps aren't growing, bicep exercises you're doing wrong, best dumbbell bicep exercises, 4 dumbbell bicep exercises, bicep peaks, big bicep workout, big arm workout for bigger biceps, get bigger arms, how to get bigger arms, how to get big freaking arms. Somehow, all of these different exercises hit your biceps in some special, unique way that you don't want to miss out on. And maybe there is a parallel universe out there somewhere where this many different curling variations is necessary to build big biceps, or where you need to sit through 20 different videos to learn how to train a relatively small and simple muscle group like this. But I guarantee that in the universe you're watching this video from right now, that definitely is not the case.
I agree 100% with you, man. Pretty sure you're technically correct. I'm pretty sure you're technically correct.
Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Probably 1 to 3 different bicep curls is all you're ever going to need to max out your genetic potential, and the same can be said for all of your other muscle groups as well. And actually, after posting this video, I came across an older YouTube channel where Ryan posted 3 of his training videos from 2012, and it definitely provides at least some evidence for what I was just talking about. These videos are back from Ryan's competitive bodybuilding days when he was already absolutely massive. He looks even bigger than he is now, and as you can see, his training was centered around basic, heavy, intense compound lifts that he's gotten very strong at through progressive overload. This is the reality of how most people build up the majority of their muscle mass, by training hard in lower to more moderate rep ranges and focusing on adding weight to the bar over time, not through a bunch of fancy exercises using light weight for high reps.
Again, this is so true. Just do the basics. It's all about consistency. You got to do it long enough for the body to be properly stimulated, to get those gains. You can't keep flip-flopping all over the place doing all this exotic stuff. That's the guy you see running around the gym doing all these different curls, and he's got the puniest arms. It's crazy. It's crazy.
After the majority of someone's muscle has already been built up, then they're pretty much free to train however they want, but the initial physique is usually achieved using basic fundamental training principles.
Damn! Whoa! Finish him! That's a KO. Flawless victory. Nalawani wins. Because you are determined to transform your body, you made it to the end of this video. To get more tips about how to look great and feel even better, check out one of these videos you see on the screen. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. So later's my massive. Me a go long now. For those who don't speak Jamaican patois, that's goodbye, my people.